Great morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Bailey B, or afternoon or evening, depending on what time you are watching this video. As you can see, I am in my home office, which doubles as my room. And I wanted to create a quick video for you all today talking about you going through the pain to experience the pleasure of victory. What I mean by that is a lot of times we see people on top. We see people winning. We see people actually gaining the success that they've always desired, whether that's acquiring a certain amount of money, getting a particular job, whatever it is that they're acquiring, whatever it is that you see when you see people on top, you got to remember that that's a small portion of what it really took for them to get there. Here's what I mean. If you ever see like a soda and you see the fizz at the top of the soda, the bubbles at the top of the drink, that's only like a small percentage of the actual soda or drink that's in the container. So what I'm saying is that fizz, that little fizz that you see across the top, is the success. But what you don't see, all of that stuff that is piled onto, is the hard work that it took for that person or that individual to arrive at a particular setting. So a particular win or victory. So what am I saying? I'm saying that in order for you to achieve your victory, in order for you to get ahead, in order for you to be on top and get to where you want to go, you're going to have to put in the hard work. You're going to have to put in the due diligence to acquire. You're going to have to put in the blood, the sweat, the tears. You're going to have to cry. You're going to have to bang your head against the wall. Things aren't always going to work out in your favor immediately. And that's one interesting fact that I want to talk to you about. A lot of times people can't create consistency in their lives because it's not instant gratification. Speaking of myself, making these videos, writing my book, doing cold calls and emails, there isn't a an instant gratification when doing it. I'm making 30 calls a day, working myself up to making 100 calls a day, to eventually 300 calls a day. And there's no instant gratification. For the last 2 or 3 months, I've been calling, reaching out to different people in regards to bringing Let's Talk Live out to their college campus. And I'll just be quite frank with you. It gets depressing, man, because they're not responding to the emails, or when I do call, they tell me to send the email and they don't respond to the email, or it's just a very slow process. But what I did notice was that when I was doing it consistently, each and every day, when I was piling on contacts, when I would reach out to 50 to 100 people a day, and then I do it again the next day, and I do it again the next day, and I put in 2 or 3 weeks consistently, what would happen was eventually I would have gigs that would roll around, where I have gig on top of gig on top of gig, where I'm hosting or speaking or doing whatever it is I love, serving my life's passion. But the moment that I took a break on it, because I felt like, man, why am I doing this? All that momentum that I had built slowed down. So what I'm telling you is you got to push through the psychological barrier of not getting an instant gratification. I know a lot of times people talk about building discipline, but you only need discipline until the habit is established. Once again, you only need to stay disciplined until the habit is established. Meaning that once it becomes a habit, you no longer need discipline because you'll do it on automatic. So what I encourage you to do is find those things in your life that aren't necessarily urgent, but they are important. For example, me journaling every day is not urgent, but it is important for me to make sure that I journal every day to not only express my thoughts and get my emotions out of my head and onto paper, but it is also important for me to work on organizing my thoughts and delivering a message consistently. Now, although it's not urgent, I'm not going to die if I don't write in my journal. So it's not urgent. But why is it important? Because in my career field, as an enlightened entertainer, someone who entertains and educates at the same time, my communication must be up to par and up to standard. And in order to do that, I must write every day. So, what I personally am doing is developing the consistency of journaling, making it a part of my daily routine. So, I want you to think about some of the things that might not necessarily be urgent, but it is important in your life, and strive to make it a consistent thing, because in order for you to win and to get that sizzle on top, you got to put in all of that work below. And sometimes you got to fall in love with the hard work. You got to fall in love with being uncomfortable. Remember that in our discomfort is when we grow the most. So a lot of times we're seeking out comfort, a consistent thing of where everything's all peachy and everything's all good. Well, you're going to have to grow beyond everything being all good and accept that it's going to take discomfort in order for you to get to where you want to go. I see a lot of times on Facebook, girls talk about they hate working out. They want the body, but they don't like working out. They want the six pack, they want the curves, but they don't want to give up drinking alcohol and eating fried foods and meat every single day. Well, I remember when I met Dr. Umar, and he wrote in the back of his book, he said that the victory is worth the struggle. So you really have to ask yourself, how bad do you want what you want? If someone kidnapped a family member or someone that you love, and they said that you had to do that unurgent but important thing in order to get your mom or your dad or that loved one that they stole back, you would place a priority on that thing. You would make it serious that you did what it is that you said that you had to do. And so I encourage you to play a trick on yourself. Play a little mind game. Act as if, or pretend for a second, that if you didn't do what you had to do, that one of your loved ones would get hurt. And I'm sure you find the inspiration and the motivation to do what it is that you have to do. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, it's Bailey B. I am the enlightened entertainer. I like to entertain and educate at the same time. You see me with this fly Be the Blessing shirt on. If you like one of these shirts and you like to participate in the movement of paying it forward, and what you do for another, you do for yourself, it's the only brand that's all about lending a helping hand. You can go check out all my gear at www.www.BeTheBlessingOnline.com. Please like, share, subscribe to my videos. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about my videos. Are they helpful? Are they inspiring? Are there topics that you feel like I need to talk about, that you would like to hear? Once again, it's Bailey B signing off. Peace.